Well, today we are finishing our refrigerator with door handles, a doorstop, and shelves on the doors. So stay tuned and see how fun this is to finish. Alright, like I promised on my Facebook group, the first thing we're working on this week is putting the door handles on our refrigerator. So off camera, I did a little bit of painting. I did this because the sun was coming in really strong this morning when I came in here to work. So it wouldn't have worked for video. So what I've got is 2 skinny sticks, and I've got another piece of really thin square strip wood. This is a little bit bigger than what we had used. Let's see if I can get the doors open. Alright, so the glue is dry on these now, and the first thing I want to do is make sure that they are exactly the same length, and they're not. Since I have this here, this is my razor saw, and normally I use this with my little miter box, but I don't have my miter box here. But this will make it very easy to cut. Come on. It would be much easier in my miter box, but oh dear. Okay, I'm going to cut them separately now that I've got it marked. Now that I've got a good mark there, I can do it with my easy cutter. There. Alright, now double check. Are we the same length? Yes, we are. These need to be the same length. Now, I'm going to go over them with an emery board to take off any roughness. And now you need to make a decision as to what color you want your handles. I'm just painting mine white. It's not the exact same white that my refrigerator is, but it's the same white I've been using all along. And on my refrigerator in my kitchen, the handles are covered in kind of a vinyl stuff, so even though they're white, they're not the same exact color as the refrigerator itself. So I am going to lay some tape down. And it's important that you do this the right direction. Okay, so this paint is dry, and let me get you down a little closer because the next step is totally optional. Paint is dry except for right where it was pooled. Right on this edge where it comes out, I'm going to use a silver Sharpie. You don't have to do this. Whoops, I've got wet paint somewhere. But I like, and I'm working from the back side. This will make it look like you've got, oh, like a chrome edge along this door handle. But see, it doesn't show much from the front, but it will show from the sides. So I'm going to finish this on both sides, and then I'll be back. Alright, so now we have our refrigerator. And we are going to, I'm going to lay it on its side to show you what I'm doing. This is the side with just the square strip wood. I'm going to run a bead of glue, and I'm going to glue this right at the edge, not sticking past the edge, but right up, just a hair in from the edge of the door. And it needs to be flat. So let's go ahead and get... And I've still got a little bit of wet paint here, but that's okay, as long as I don't get it all over the refrigerator. Now mine are the same height, the same length as my doors are tall, so that makes it easy. You will need to line up, well, they're a hair shorter, but not by much. There, that's on. You can see from the end, hopefully. That's how that's going to go. And I am going to, let's see, what do I have? Do I have any? I don't have anything the right height. Oh, I know, I can do it like this. I want it to be flat. And let's see here, lined up. I think we can probably do the other side too. That part that I just did the silver, that goes towards the door, you know, towards the edges. That's the part your dolls would grip onto in real life. Silver edge, in, flat edge, towards the door opening. And you want to get these lined up the same on both doors. And we're just going to leave it set like this to dry. Once I'll back you up again so you can see my handles are lined up. I'm going to let this dry in this position, and when it's dry I'll be back and we can move on. Alright, so before we move on, we'll take a look at our refrigerator. The glue is not completely set, so I don't want to close the doors all the way, but doesn't that look cool? Alright, I decided I want to add a little pull handle to my produce drawer. So I took this skinny strip wood, the same one I used for the back of the handle, and I cut a piece that's the same width as my produce drawer. Remember, the produce drawer is longer than it is wide. That's how you can tell which is the, which is the front and which is the sides. Now, I'm going to put some tacky glue there. I have a wet wipe here to wipe my fingers so I don't make a total mess of myself. And this is a little bit fiddly, but you can do it. Get it lined up. Then I'm going to use a couple of clothespins to help hold that until that glue is set. There. Now that glue needs to set, and the other needs to finish drying, and when that happens, I'll be back. Alright, so we're going to start making some shelves for our door. And I want to have some space on each side of the shelves. You can go as wide as you want. If you want to go all the way to the width of the door, you probably could. You'll have to allow some space so they can clear each other. I'm making mine narrower than the door. So, and I'll have the directions for cutting in the blog post. But this is a piece of craft stick. Alright, so I've made 4 shelves, and let's set them here on our door and see how they look. I think those are going to be very nice. So I am going to kind of sand these and get them nice and even. I'm going to use an emery board, get everything nice and smooth. And I'm going to apply a good coat of white paint. And the advantage to painting this after it's glued together is it will reinforce our glued joints. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to get these painted, and I'll probably... Alright, so our little door shelves are all dry. I painted them actually yesterday. Our door handles are dry. I love how this is looking. Alright, so the door shelves are going to go on here. I've decided not to do shelves on my freezer side, but it's a simple process. Just repeat the same process. Now, I don't have super glue. I would recommend having some super glue on hand for this project, because you could use my 2 glue method where you put a couple of dots of super glue on and it will hold your door shelves. Now, do I have anything that's the right height? Not really. So I'm going to eyeball the centering, but I'm going to use craft sticks to help me space these. So I'm using a regular size craft stick at the bottom. Put some tacky glue at the back of this shelf and along that end piece, and also along the side of that craft stick. Give it a second. Now, I'm going to All right, now we have an issue when we've got the shelves on the door. The door stops pretty much where it should. When we don't, it just kind of keeps going in. So I cut a doorstop. This is just a piece of regular craft stick, and it's cut to fit exactly across the refrigerator, which is just a hair shy of 2.5 inches on mine. Yours should be pretty close to that. I cut it 2.5 inches, and then I just cut off just enough to make it fit in, or sanded it off with an emery board. So I painted it the same white as I painted our door handles. Let's see if I can put this where you guys can see it. This is actually the second time I've glued this in because I realized I'd done it completely off camera a moment ago. And line it up. And what you're looking for is you want the ends to line up with the fronts of the refrigerator doors. Now that glue needs to dry, and when that's dry, you can close your doors and your refrigerator will be well, this part will be complete. The inside will be complete. Alright, so the final thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the whole back of our refrigerator with paper. I'm going to put this way. So let's measure. I didn't make a PDF pattern for this because I think you can cut your own paper. So I'm going to cover the entire, I'm just going to cover that part. So I need a piece 5 by just under 3. And this is optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And I've got this is my quilter's guide for cutting. I'm going to use cut a 3-inch strip. This is that same sheet of black cardstock that we used last week for the base. Didn't cut all the way up there, but that's okay. Probably should cut that just a little narrow, but we will try it out and see how it looks. Whoops. Come on, paper. I've got my tripod right in the way of where I want to be doing this. So, alright, let's see how this fits. Does this fit well? And this is optional. It's just a little decorative because the back of the refrigerator wouldn't be, white. Glue stick. I knew I saw it here somewhere. And you could, patch those little white strips if you want. You can go at this as much or as little as you want as far as the details go. I would recommend putting those little door stops in though, if you don't put the shelves in, because they'll prevent the shelves from going in too far. Just a little bit of glue stick because this won't get a lot of wear. And there we go. Alright guys, we have a completed refrigerator. The doors shut pretty well. What I'm going to do is set something heavy on top of mine for a day or so to help weight it down, and that will help everything to spread. But the doors are nice and tight so they'll stay shut. Open it up. We've got our little doorstop down there. We've got our little produce drawer that comes out. Our door shelves, which of course you could put on the freezer side too. The base is covered in black like the grill, and you've got I did my back in black, you don't have to. But that is our completed refrigerator. I hope that you've enjoyed this project. I certainly have. Be sure and check the blog post. I'll have the measurements for these pieces. Be sure and check my Facebook group. That's where I give some sneak peeks over there, and I also gave a sneak peek over on the Patreon page. If you haven't seen my Patreon video, be sure and check the channel for that. I'd love to have you support me on Patreon so we can make these videos even better with better camera, better sound, and better lighting. I'll talk to you later. Bye.